Do you know what you left behind? It wasn't just your presence, it was the silence you caused afterward. It was the space that can't be filled anymore. It was the pillow that turned into guilt. It was the room that became a prison of memories. You left, and someone has been stuck in time ever since, and that someone can't close their eyes without reopening the wound again. Some nights just never pass. Hours weigh heavily. Thoughts that you have no idea hurt as much as they do. You didn't listen, you didn't see, you didn't realize what you did. Or maybe you did, and still you went. Which might be even worse, because since you became an absence, someone became anguish. The routine turned into a charade, the bed became a battlefield. There's no rest, there's no peace, only repetitions, Jan, of everything that was said, what was left unspoken, of what will never be again. And if you feel anything inside, it's because you know too. You feel too. You took more than you imagined. You took the calm, you took the bedtime, you took the end of the day, you took the tranquility. And you left someone awake in the dark, trying to understand why. Why you left. Why it hurt so much. Why it still hurts. Have you ever lost your peace because of someone's absence? You have no idea what you caused. And maybe you never will. Because some people leave as if it were simple. As if the others would remain whole. As if what they left behind wouldn't crumble into silence. But I'm going to tell you, straightforwardly, without poetry, without beautifying the wound. Since you left, someone can't close their eyes in peace anymore. Someone wakes up in the middle of the night with a trembling body and an exposed heart. Someone sits on the bed and stares at nothing, hoping that the emptiness will return some answer. But the emptiness only echoes back, and the echo hurts. That absence has turned into noise, a noise that never stops. Even when everything around is quiet, it keeps screaming inside. Do you realize this? I'm not talking about sweet nostalgia. I'm talking about emotional torture, about a mind that can no longer find peace because it was taught to wait for someone who will not return. Because you left, but the body, the heart, the subconscious are still here, stagnant, trapped, looking for you. There is a person who no longer lives, only survives. Someone who still imagines the sound of your key in the door, who thinks twice before lying down on the left side of the bed, who avoids looking at certain photos, who stopped listening to certain songs. Do you know why? Because all of this is you. All of this is the memory of your presence. And now, every memory has turned into a sentence. The mind repeats what you said, but the body screams for what you didn't do, and didn't do. Because you chose to leave, or because you didn't know how to stay. You have no idea how many tears have been wiped away in the dark, how many times the mouth stayed silent out of pride, how many messages were deleted before being sent. Do you have any sense of what it's like to lie down with a name stuck in your throat? What it's like to sleep with a pillow soaked from a silent cry that no one sees? What it's like to wake up without the will to open your eyes, knowing the day will not bring you back? You left a body, but took a soul. And those who remain try to move forward, but stumble, drag themselves, fake strength. But it's nothing more than chaos dressed up as normalcy. Insomnia became routine. The nights turned into labyrinths. The bed became a graveyard of everything that could have been. And even when fatigue sets in, sleep won't come. Because what robs peace is not what was lived. It's what was left unresolved. It's what you took without returning. It's what you promised and then destroyed with silence. You're gone. And someone collapsed inside. And the worst is that no one notices. Because the pain learned to disguise itself as strength. Because suffering became a habit. Because getting used to the absence is the only way out when there is no coming back. But the pain is there, present, persistent, hot, as if you left just yesterday, and every time night falls, she comes back, with everything. The scent of your clothes returns, your voice echoes in the hallway. That little habit no one else had comes back. Even the sound of your laughter returns, the kind that erupted from nowhere and filled everything. Now what explodes is the chest. It's the heart imploding in an attempt to maintain clarity. You didn't just leave yourself behind. You took the routine. You took the stability. You took the peace that once came with the day's end. Because now, darkness is synonymous with storm, with memory, with you. And it doesn't matter how much time passes. It doesn't matter how many people try to fill the void. You left your mark. You made a home. You took root. And those who are left can't harvest anything but pain. Have you ever lost your peace because of someone's absence? Have you ever stared at the ceiling, unsure of what to expect? Have you ever felt the urge to scream but couldn't make a sound? Have you ever wished to erase someone's name from your memory just to find a little bit of silence in your head? If you felt this, then you understand. Then you know. The absence of someone we loved doesn't just go away. It transforms into noise, into anguish, into insomnia. And even when the body seems to get used to it, the soul still bleeds. Because there are people who leave but they don't disappear. They remain alive in the pauses, in the emptiness, in the silent routine. They continue to be missed even where they shouldn't be. In the taste of coffee, in the gaze lost in the mirror, in the touch that never came, in the phrase that no one says anymore. And the question hammers away, why did you leave? Why? Out of fear, out of neglect, out of cowardice, or because you never realized how necessary you were. Maybe you thought it was just another story, another chapter, something that closes over time, but it hasn't closed. Not here, not for those who remain. Here, the story stays open, because there was no ending, only abandonment. And those who are abandoned don't close the book, they stay trapped, frozen in the moment when everything fell apart. And when we try to move on, it's not because we want to forget, it's because we need to survive. But surviving is not really living. It's moving through the days without surrendering. It's smiling without feeling. It's pretending to be strong because no one can stand to see weakness anymore. Do you realize that absence gains layers? At first, it's just a strange silence. Then it becomes a habit, next a void, and finally a longing that has nowhere to reside. And there are nights when it seems like it will pass. You even breathe a little better, almost believing that you've moved on, until you hear a song, see a detail, remember a gesture, and then everything comes rushing back, like a punch, like a reopened wound. As if time hasn't done a damn thing. You find yourself asking, do you feel the same? Does any part of you still look back? Is there any doubt left, any good memory, any pang in your chest that makes you think about coming back? But the truth is, you don't know, and maybe you never will, because there are people who disappear as if they never existed. But you existed in every inch. You occupied places that ran too deep, and those left with that trace carry everything you left behind without looking back. The mess, the rubble, the questions. You left all that, and walked away clean. Do you realize that? What it's like to piece things together without knowing how to glue them. What it's like to sleep with the weight of what never had an answer. What it's like to walk with your heart exposed, waiting for something that will never happen again. And the worst part is that no one sees, no one listens. Because the world keeps spinning, and people say it's better this way, that it was meant to be, that you deserve someone who stays. But no one understands what it's like to have been pierced by someone who seemed like they would stay, who promised with their gaze, who made themselves at home with their gestures, and then vanished. Can you perceive how much that tears you apart? It's like being in a body that was invaded by hope and then abandoned by reality. There's your scent on the clothes that haven't been thrown away yet. There's your voice in the corners of the mind that no one else can reach. There's your touch in the bones, and that no one can take away. And even as time passes, some marks are simply unerasable. You left someone lost, without sleep, without an exit. And while you're living your life, someone is still here, waiting for something that won't come back, waiting for you, or at least the person you used to be, the version you promised not to let go, the one who swore to be there, the one who said they felt. But did you really feel? Or was it just another impulse, another pretty phrase, another story you would abandon as soon as you grew tired? Because that's how it seems. It seems like you grew tired. Tired of someone who was still there, of someone who believed until the very last second, and those who believe too much and break too much, they hold on more, feel more. And now, what remains? That dark room, that breath caught, that tear that went unshared. What's left is a body that still calls for you in silence, even knowing that you no longer listen. Have you ever felt this way? Have you ever lived through the emptiness of someone who has gone, but who still lives inside? Have you ever tried to rebuild yourself while carrying the wreckage of a goodbye that was never done right? Because yes, some people leave, but some people stay, even when the other has already forgotten. And if this text touched you, pierced you, made you relive what no one sees, then you know. You know what it's like not to sleep in peace since someone left. You're not exaggerating, you never were. It's just that no one notices the weight of silence when it resides inside you. But I notice. I see it in the way you withdraw, in how your gaze drifts during a simple conversation, in the pause between one word and another as if trying to hide a scream. There are things you've never shared with anyone. There are nights you've never described. And there's a name you still whisper in your thoughts even after all this time. You wonder if it will pass, if one day this weight will disappear, if in some invisible future you will be able to lie down without wishing to erase your own history. But the answer might not come, because there are absences that can't be resolved. There are presences that even when they leave continue to linger. They've become part of your body, your skin, your soul. You didn't just lose someone. You lost what that person activated in you, the way you smiled when they were around, the peace you felt when you saw that name on the screen, the comfort of knowing there was someone there who could read you even in silence. And now? Now you fall silent because no one understands. Everyone wants you to move on, but no one has any idea what has been broken, what you had to swallow, what you had to rebuild inside. You do get up, yes, you move forward. But something was left on the ground with that departure, and what's left still bleeds. Even when you think it has healed, something comes back and tears everything open again. A memory, a scent, a stupid coincidence. That's what dismantles you. Not the fact that the person is gone, but the way it happened. The way everything ended without enough explanation, without warning, without emotional responsibility. And now every night, you repeat the same ritual. You lie down, try to forget, take a deep breath, and lose. Because the mind is a cruel place when it misses something. It doesn't give you a break. It doesn't respect time. It wants answers, even when you already know there aren't any. Have you ever lived this? Have you ever had to pretend that everything was fine while everything inside is sinking? Have you ever had to smile at someone who asks, "Hey, everything good?" when nothing is? Then you understand. You understand what it's like to walk around with an open chest, with your body functioning but your soul paralyzed. And the worst part is that you have nowhere to send this pain. It has no recipient. There's no one who will listen to you until the end. Because the one who could listen is gone. And you're left. Left with the questions, with the fears, with the insomnia, with the uncertainty of whether you will ever be able to love again without the fear of being left behind. Because it's not just missing someone. It's trauma. It's absence mixed with insecurity. It's wanting someone, and at the same time being terrified to open up again. Have you ever felt this way? And if you felt like every word has been pulled from deep inside you, then I need to tell you, you are not alone. There are many people who still sleep holding on to what they've lost. There are people who wake up in the middle of the night trying to find a name in the dark. There are people, maybe you, who still live as if someone will come back, even though deep down you know they won't. But listen, there's no shame in feeling this way. Absence is a kind of presence too. It occupies space, it weighs heavy, it lingers. You are not weak for feeling. You are not dramatic for remembering. You are human. And the pain, no matter how quiet, is also a form of love. But now it's time to stop blaming yourself. You weren't the problem. You were giving your all. You were honest. You were whole in a world that learned to leave too soon. And that alone says so much more about you than about the one who left. So take a deep breath. Even if it still hurts, even if your heart is in pieces, even if you feel like disappearing, breathe, because this emptiness one day will make room for something else. Maybe not now, maybe not in the way you expect, but it will. And when that happens, you will realize that it wasn't you who was lost, it was the one who left who never knew how to stay. If this video touched you, give it a like. This shows me that you are here and that you felt something. Comment below, "I'm trying to move on," or "I needed to hear that." Tell me, have you been through something like this? What part hurt you the most? Your story can heal someone else right now. And don't keep this to yourself. There's someone out there, quiet, suffering in silence, who needs to hear exactly what you just heard. Share this video with that person. Forward it. Let it reach them. Don't let her face this alone either. Sign up here on the channel so you don't miss the next ones. We'll still have plenty to talk about, and each video is a step into what the world can't hear, but what you feel.